Marsha Hunt, a blacklist victim and Hollywood icon, passes away at 104. Toronto. Marsha Hunt, one of the few surviving actors from Hollywood's golden age of the 1930s and 1940s, has passed away. During her career, which was briefly interrupted by the McCarthy-era blacklist, she worked with actors such as Laurence Olivier and Andy Griffith. Her age was 104. According to Roger Memas, the writer-director of the 2015 documentary Marsha Hunt's Sweet Adversity, Hunt, who had roles in more than 100 films and television programs, passed away on Wednesday at her Sherman Oaks, California home. Marsha Hunt, a 100-year-old actress, has moral concerns. She was born in Chicago and moved to Hollywood in 1935. Over the next 15 years, she acted in scores of movies, including Easy Living, a comedy directed by Preston Sturges and the Olivier and Greer Garson starring rendition of Pride and Prejudice. When MGM dubbed her Hollywood's youngest character actress, she was much under 40. She was also sufficiently well-known by the early 1950s to grace the cover of Life magazine, and seemed poised to succeed in the brand-new medium of television when all of a sudden, as she recounted in 1996, the work dried up. Hunt voiced his disapproval of the House Un-American Activities Committee. She discovered the explanation from her agent. It had been disclosed that she attended a peace conference in Stockholm and other allegedly dubious events by the Communist Hunting Red Channel's Journal. Hunt traveled to Washington in 1947 to oppose the House Un-American Activities Committee, which was conducting a witch hunt for communists in the film business, alongside Hollywood luminaries Lauren Bacall, Humphrey Bogart, and Danny Kaye. In 1996, Hunt claimed, "I'd made 54 pictures in my first 16 years in Hollywood. I have 8 since 45 years ago. That demonstrates the damage a blacklist can cause to a career." Hunt focused on the theater, where the blacklist was not enforced until the late 1950s, when she started to sporadically acquire film work again. She performed with touring ensembles of The Devil's Disciple, Legend of Sarah, and The Paisley Convertible were performed on Broadway, along with The Cocktail Party, The Ladies Not for Burning, and The Tunnel of Love. Daughter of an insurance executive and a vocal teacher, Marsha Virginia Hunt, she later changed the spelling of her first name, was born in Chicago and raised in New York City. Before making her feature film debut, Hunt worked as a model and studied acting. She is slim and fashionable with a lovely smile and big, expressive eyes. Aiming for the Hollywood blacklist in high noon. Jerry Hopper, a director, divorced his wife after a brief marriage. She married the screenwriter Robert Presnell Jr. in 1948. The couple had one daughter, who passed very soon after being born too soon. She lost her husband in 1986. 1935's The Virginia Judge was Hunt's debut motion picture. She continued to play subdued characters in a number of Paramount movies, such as The Accusing Finger and Come On Leathernecks. But she told the Associated Press in 2020 that she was sick of playing nice young things and pleaded for more challenging roles. A significant part in Gone with the Wind was almost hers. Hollywood proved to be a difficult lesson. She recalled nearly landing the role of Melanie Wilkes in Gone with the Wind in Marsha Hunt's Sweet Adversity, even after receiving assurances from producer David O. Selznick. Days later, it was revealed that Olivia de Havilland will play Melanie in the 1939 epic. In the documentary, Hunt noted, "That's the day I grew up. That was the day I realized I could never again let the acting business break my heart." Around the time of Gone with the Wind, she switched from Paramount to MGM, and she went on to play leading or supporting roles in films, including These Glamour Girls, Flight Command, and The Human Comedy, among others. Looking back on Red Channels, we can relive the fear. In an interview with the Associated Press from 2007, she said, "MGM was sheer magic. They parked my car when I arrived at the studio for a one-day gig. When I arrived on the set, I noticed a director's chair with the name Miss Hunt written on it. On my dressing room was another placard. Any studio that treats a one-day player that poorly truly understands how to create movies, I thought to myself, they gained my support. After she publicly adopted liberal ideals and joined the 1947 protest against congressional hearings on the alleged communist influence in Hollywood, her work swiftly came apart. In 1996, she stated, "I was never a communist or particularly interested in the communist cause. I was defending my industry as a political innocent." For the majority of the 1950s, she was rarely seen on the big screen, with a few notable exceptions including producer Stanley Kramer's family comedy, The Happy Time from 1952. Later, she had numerous television appearances, notably in the shows My Three Sons, Matlock, All in the Family, and Murder, She Wrote. In her advanced age, she maintained her grace and vigor. A richly illustrated book about the clothing from her Hollywood heyday, The Way We Wore, Styles of the 1930s and 40s and Our World Since Then, was published by her in 1993. Hunt, a lifetime political activist, has a close encounter with terror when, the same evening that she participated in a conference on right-wing extremists, 2 other attendees' homes were damaged by homemade bombs. Hollywood's golden age saw movie stars slipping into one another's telegrams. The Los Angeles Times stated that the ashen-faced actress said her home probably evaded the bomb attempt only because the terrorists were unable to figure out where she lived. Her home was being watched over by police. She helped establish a shelter for the homeless more recently in Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles, where she lived and was honored with the title of honorary mayor. In 1996, Hunt reflected on her activist days and said, "I've never wanted to be known as a controversial character. But now that I've survived it and discovered new hobbies in the interim, I can reflect with some philosophy. Thanks for watching."